Let's go with background, okay? So background, you get a few different options. I'm going to read through all of them because I think this is sort of interesting. So you got Beast Hunter. This would be from Ashta of Akil to the Terramorphs that plague the whole of the settled system. Hostile alien life abounds. You've learned the skills to track them, bind them, and take them down. So your starting skills, you got fitness, ballistics, and gastronomy. So then you've got Bouncer. You've worked the line at the toughest clubs in the settled system. Back then, you learned that most non-lethal confrontations can be solved one of two ways: a strong right hook or a more strongly secured door. So here you've got boxing, so that would be sort of your melee skills, security, and then you've got fitness. Here you've got bounty hunting, or bounty hunter. Wherever there are wanted individuals, there are those who profit from their capture. And your query knows that in the vastness of space, they can run, but they can't hide. So the skills we've got here: piloting, target control systems, and boost pack training. Next up, you've got chef. While the unrefined masses scarf down chunks by the shipload, you catered to those with a more discerning palate. In your kitchen, countless alien species became true culinary masterpieces. So you're cutting up aliens there. But yeah, basically gastronomy, dueling, and scavenging would be your skills. Combat medic, leave it to human beings to fight over something as infinite as outer space. That's where you come in. You've never been afraid to take on the enemy, but you'd much rather take care of your friends. So you have pistol certification, medicine, and wellness. Cyber runner. From Neon to New Atlantis, the megacorps stand as monuments to power, prestige, and profit. You've worked both for and against them on the inside and out, often sacrificing conscience for credit. So here you've got stealth, security, and theft. Cyberneticist, robots, mere toys. Neuroamps, good for parlor tricks. The colony war may have made implants and upgrades available to veterans, but you once saw a greater future, humans and machines as one. And here you got medicine, security, and lasers. Diplomat. The wars are over, peace now reigns. The settled systems, but only because there are those quietly fighting to keep it. Because of you, agreements were signed, words were heeded, lives were spared. So persuasion, commerce, and wellness would be your skills. Explorer. They said exploration is a lost art. You didn't listen. As the major factions argued over the space they desperately tried to control, you were busy uncovering the wonders of the settled system. So here you've got laser, aerodynamics, and surveying as your skills. Gangster. You were always disgusted by suckers killing themselves to make an honest wage. As soon as you were old enough to hold a weapon, you took what you wanted from anyone unlucky enough to have it. So here you've got shotgun certification, boxing, and theft. Next up, you've got homesteader. The discovery of the settled systems, many oxygen-rich planets and moons, many humans could live just about anywhere if they had the know-how. You did and utilized it to great effect. So geology, surveying, and weightlifting would be your skills. Industrialist. There was a time when all you wanted was to be a titan of industry, maybe a ship designer or megacorp exec. Thankfully, that skill set never goes out of style in the settled systems. Persuasion, security, and research methods be your skills. Next up, you've got long hauler. Let those other hot-headed pilots obsess over laser weapons and maneuverability. You're a space trucker, pure and simple. Pack the cargo, get it there fast, get paid, repeat. Life is simple and good. Weightlifting, piloting, and ballistic systems would be your skills. Next up, you got pilgrim. Wayfarer, wanderer, seeker, transient. You've been called many things during your travels and learned something those others could never understand. The journey is a destination. Scavenging, surveying, and gastronomy would be your skills. Professor. You always enjoyed learning, but nothing could compare to the joy of teaching others. As humankind spreads throughout the galaxy, there was never a lack of knowledge to obtain, and you gladly assisted. Astrodynamics, geology, and research methods would be your skills. Ronin. Masterless and unbound, you wandered the settled systems as a blade for hire. To some, you were simply a mercenary, to others a hero, and to a select few, a nightmare they could never wake from. Dueling, stealth, and scavenging would be your skills. Sculptor. With your knowledge of anatomy and skilled, steady hands, you could have had a lucrative career as a surgeon. Instead, you followed your heart and created works of art to amaze and inspire. Medicine, geology, and persuasion would be your skills. Soldier. Settled systems is no stranger to warfare. And if there's one thing armed conflict relies on, it's trained warriors with guns and guts. You had both. Simple, bloody work, and you were great at it. Fitness, ballistics, and boost pack training would be your skills. Space scoundrel. Good, bad, who's right? Is it to say? If there's anything you've learned while traipsing through the galaxy, it's this. Space may look black, but it's really one big shade of gray. Pilot certification, piloting, and persuasion would be your skills. And then you've got xenobiologist. The settled systems is home to untold alien species. Home to untold alien species. And while none of them have yet proven sentient, that never deterred you. So you sought out and studied them for whatever gifts they offered. So basically, we know there's no aliens that have been discovered at this point from just a xenobiologist thing, but we're going to see what happens as this game progresses. And then you get file not found. Oddly, there's no information file about your past. Clerical oversight, deletion by some unknown powerful fraction, or was there just nothing of note to mention? For whatever reason, your past is known only to you. What's important is the here and now and the path you're about to forge. So here you know wellness, ballistics, and piloting. Personally, I sort of like Cyber Runner. I always end up playing a rogue, so I'm going to go with that. Or should I go with Bounty Hunter? I think Cyber Runner is going to be better because stealth, good, security, good, theft, pretty good, I think. I like to go the stealth route a lot of the time, so I think that's going to work out for me. Personally, I'd avoid any of those melee skills just because those, from what I've read, those don't tend to come in handy as much. But a lot of this stuff could be pretty useful. It's really up to you. Now let's jump into traits. So you got alien traits. You can pick 3 of them. It's optional. So alien DNA. You volunteered for a controversial experiment that combines alien and human DNA. All right, so I guess there are some aliens, just not sentient. They did say that. As a result, you start with increased health and oxygen, but healing and food items aren't as effective. Dream home. You own a luxurious, customizable home on a peaceful planet. Unfortunately, comes with a 125,000 credit mortgage with Gal Bank that has to be paid weekly. I'm curious because I want to see the home, so I might pick that. Empath. You're deeply connected to the feelings of others. Performing actions your companions like will result in a temporary increase in combat effectiveness. But performing actions they don't like will have the precise opposite effect. Extrovert. You're a people person. Exerting yourself uses less oxygen when adventuring with human companions, but more when adventuring alone. Can't be combined with introverts. So you can't be an introverted extrovert. Freestar Collective Settler. You gain access to special Freestar Collective dialogue options and better rewards from some missions given by the faction, but crime bounty towards other factions is greatly increased. Hero Worship. You've earned the attention of an adoring fan who will show up randomly and jabber at you insistently. On the plus side, he'll join your ship's crew and give you gifts. So that would be that one guy, I think he's from Skyrim. It's a little bit of a throwback to other Bethesda games. Introvert. You really need your alone time. Exerting yourself uses less oxygen when adventuring alone, but more when adventuring with other human companions. Kid stuff. Your parents are alive and well. You can visit their home, but will automatically send 2% of your credits home to them every week. Neon Street Rat. You grew up on the mean streets of Neon. You gain access to special dialogue options and better rewards for some missions on Neon. Crime bounty by other factions is greatly increased. So you can't combine faction traits, by the way. Raised Enlightened. You grew up as a member of the Enlightened. You gain access to a special chest full of items in the House of Enlightened in New Atlantis, but lose access to other Sanctum Universium chests. Raised Universal. You grew up as a member of the Sanctum Universal. You gain access to a special chest full of items in the Sanctum Universal New Orlantis, but you lose access to other House of Enlightened chests. Serpent's Embrace. You grew up worshipping the Great Serpent. Jumping provides a temporary boost to health and oxygen, but health and oxygen are lowered if you don't continue jumping regularly. It's like an addiction. Spaced. Your body has become acclimated to space. Health and oxygen are increased when in space, but decreased when on the surface. Taskmaster. Occasionally, if you have crew trained in a certain ship system, that system will automatically repair itself to full health whenever it is damaged below 50%. However, all crew cost twice as much to hire. Terra Firma. You've never acclimated to space. Health and oxygen are increased when on the surface, but decreased when you're in space. United Colonist Native. You gain access to special United Colonies dialogue options and better rewards from some missions given by the faction. However, crime bounties by other factions are greatly increased. And finally, you've got Wanted. Someone put a high price on your head, and word has spread. Occasionally, armed mercenaries will show up and try to kill you, but being cornered gives you an edge. When health is low, you do extra damage. So that's interesting. There's a lot of cool ones here, to be honest. Personally, I sort of like this dream home. I want to see what it's like. I like the parents. That sounds cool. Neon, I'm tempted to pick that. But I don't know the crime factions yet. So I don't really want to do anything involving factions. I might just go with 2, to be honest. Or maybe I'll go with extrovert. I'm doing a YouTube channel after all, so maybe we should pick that. So dream home, extrovert, and kid stuff are my picks. You don't have to pick anything. But yeah, this would be character creation. And this would be cereal. Until next time, peace.